So, how good is the NFL quarterback class of 2025? Well, I'm here to tell you good, bad, or indifferent. This is Hill Time Sports. What's up, everybody? This is Hill Time Sports, and I'm your host, Trenton Hill. Now, before we get into it, what right do I have to talk about football? I'm not a pro athlete, not a college or high school athlete. I am not a scout, coach, analyst of any sort that is employed by any of the big media markets, but I do have a microphone, I have a camera, so I'm just going to give you my opinion anyways. First quarterback on the list that I want to talk about is Shedeur Sanders. He's accurate. People say he is more prepared for the NFL than any of the other prospects. And with accuracy and his delivery, I could see it, but there are questions about him, as Micah Parsons said, patting the ball could lead to sacks. He also is one of those quarterbacks that will hold on to the ball too long, like Carson Wentz, and that attributed to his 53 sacks that he had last year. And that could be because of just how bad the Colorado O-line was, and he was running for his life. I would love to see him go to the Titans, number one overall. I know the Titans have a good offensive line, and I want to see what he can do behind that offensive line. Probably not going to happen. Cam Ward's probably going to go number one, but it would be pretty cool to see. He has good footwork in the pocket. Another caveat that I do have is that he does not throw a tight spiral. He's not going to fling it with a tight spiral, and that could be a problem for air getting under the ball. And yeah, but his work ethic is really good, as seen that he put on some muscle before his pro day. If you guys watch the pro day, cool. If you haven't, go watch it if you want. If not, then just take my word for it. Last year, he had 4,134 yards, 37 touchdowns, and 90.5 PFF grade, and 1,101 pass yards and 12 touchdowns under pressure. I would say that's pretty darn good. I would say he's definitely a project. Most of these quarterbacks in the draft are projects. I wouldn't start them day one. I would start them maybe middle of the year, see what they have, maybe sit them for a year or two like Jordan Love or Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers or like the quarterbacks in the past. But it'd be cool to be on the Titans. I think that would be really cool. But let's talk about number two, Mr. Cam Ward, who will probably go number one. He's got a cannon, quick release. He's not a big runner, but he does have the escapability in the pocket. He's a gunslinger, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. We all know how the 2009 or 2010 NFC Championship game went when Brett Favre threw that interception, and then when Brett Favre threw that interception to the Giants in 2007 or 2008. He likes to throw the ball more than he likes to run. He keeps his eyes down the field. He had 158 total passing touchdowns over his college career, which is an NCAA record or FBS record. I saw on his pro day that he can make all of the throws, outside, inside, deep ball. He is a great thrower of the ball, but my only caveat is, or my only downside of him is he likes to throw on the back foot. And as we've seen with Jamarcus Russell, that can lead to interceptions and other issues. Balls in the dirt, if you're not throwing the ball with a good back leg, with your shoulders pushing off, with your back leg pushing off, that can cause a lot of problems. So he needs to work on that. He's probably going to go number one to the Titans, like I said, and he's like a Steve McNair type passer. We'll see how he does. I say they sit him for a while. Do not start him yet, because all of these quarterbacks are not day one starters. And I think a lot of teams are going to be reaching for these quarterbacks. But we'll move on to the next quarterback, which was Jackson Dart. Now, Jackson Dart came out of nowhere. He is from Ole Miss. And yes, I am reading from notes. Don't sue me, because I need these notes. Without the notes, I ain't going to remember shit. But 4,279 yards in 2024, 31 touchdowns. He throws a flat ball, as Kurt Warner said during the combine, and that could be a problem. It's something that Colin Kaepernick struggled with in his career. He threw a very flat ball. He doesn't have a lot of touch in his throw. He's also a quarterback that will when he doesn't have his first read, he will either take off or not know what to do. Um, he has a great deep ball. He's very efficient when he has the first read. He's athletic. He had 31 TDs, like I said. He needs to get better in the pocket when there's pressure. I know that he didn't do very well against the pressure. He'll need to fix that up. I don't think he is a first round pick unless you're a desperate team like the Steelers. If I'm the Steelers, I draft him in the first round, or the Saints or someone like that. You can get him late in the first round. I would do that. But other than that, I don't think any team should be looking at him in the first round. And on to the next one. And I'm not going to cover all of the quarterbacks in the draft class, only the main ones that I think will go in the first like 2 and a half days or whatever. I don't think like a lot of these quarterbacks in the back end are going to be backups and probably won't even get drafted. So I'm only going to talk about the ones that I think could get drafted and, if developed, could potentially start for teams. Now, Jalen Milroe from Alabama has a big arm, but he is very inaccurate. He had a very good 2023 season and then regressed in 2024. He will be probably a second or third round pick, in my opinion. And he needs about 2 to 3 years to learn to throw the football. He's very inconsistent, as you can see from his combine, his pro day. He throws a lot of hospital balls, which is a problem. He's athletic. He's scary fast. He's like Lamar. He's like Jaden Daniels. He's scary fast. So you could probably throw him in there and see what he can do early on. But my thing is learn from a good coach, learn from a veteran quarterback, teach him how to be more consistent instead of just air milling balls, which it can be a problem in the NFL, especially with the corners that are playing. I do like his escapability, his ability to run. I think that's a good thing. And anybody that says that, oh, quarterbacks that run are running backs, no, I learned with Lamar Jackson that Lamar is a very good thrower of the ball, and I will never use that analogy again. They're not running backs; they are definitely quarterbacks. So we need to cut that crap out. As for Quinn Ewers, he has great experience. His arm is there when he's healthy, because at the end of the season, he didn't really have the arm strength. He was banged up. He does need to improve his decision making. He needs to use his body more when he throws. He puts too much touch on the ball, which, it's kind of a nonchalant. I'm left-handed. I'm sorry. Nonchalant like throwing, and that could end up being air mailed, or it could end up being intercepted and things like that. A lot of these quarterbacks have either the problem of throwing too flat or putting too much air under the ball, which is totally correctable with good coaching and good mentorship. Another thing is he does have potential, but he might just be a backup. He was the number one prospect out of high school, but he is no longer viewed as this great prospect anymore. He did handle the Arch Manning thing very well, which shows that he does have great leadership. And that's one thing you're always looking for in a quarterback. I think that's the biggest thing you can do, is be a great leader. Even if you're a backup, backups have their job to be great leaders too. But moving on, Kyle McCord. He has a strong athletic body. He doesn't run great, and a lot of scouts are saying that he has a robotic motion. He has robotic mechanic. His arm speed's a little slow. He does have great arm talent. He could throw the ball deep. He does have a great spiral. A tight spiral will always be good. You don't want those balls to be Jeff Garcia balls. I know from experience where they're just wobbling around. Those are okay, but they're not ideal in a quarterback when you're drafting one. Definitely a gunslinger, will throw his interceptions, will make bad decisions like throwing into tight windows. Better decision making should be taught if he's drafted or if he's drafted. He did have 5 interceptions in one game, which is bad, but he did bounce back and have better games after that 5 interception game. You guys can do with that information what you want, but let me know what you guys think of the quarterback class in 2025. Are they good, bad, indifferent, ugly? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. This is Hilltime Sports.